Hello there, Youhua. It's Andrew, ready to correct your trial essay. So what we tend to do with these trial corrections is work through them sentence by sentence, provide some edits to grammar and I suppose vocabulary, but most of all we give general guidance towards producing good academic writing within the format. So my first point would be that an introduction to one of these sort of discursive essays. I mean, you haven't sent me the question to this, so I'm not sure whether this question said discuss both sides of the argument or to what extent do you agree or disagree. If it's discuss both sides of the argument, then we should provide first the argument we do not agree with, and then the argument, our argument. We counter it. But in the introduction, all we're required to do is give the contention, so what are both sides of the argument, whether we agree or disagree, so our opinion, and a brief outline of the ideas that we will use to support that opinion. So that can be done in 2 or 3 sentences. Many students include these background statements to lead into the essay, but actually they're not required. We can just start with some people feel that our governments are spending too much on arts related areas. I mean, we technically should do that. And we could here just go and that other priorities require more urgent help. And here we could just put that there and say such as population and environment issues. Do that. However, I disagree. We don't need to refer specifically to the people, we can keep it objective and distant. However, I disagree, as I believe that more spending on the arts is required in order to enrich, let's just say enrich thinking. I try to leave personal pronouns out wherever possible. Depersonalizing academic writing is quite important. Enrich thinking, further preparing humanity for the 21st century. So you've covered the issues that are more important, you've covered your opinion and a brief explanation why, and you've also introduced the idea that's up for contention. Now we have a tidy intro. So here as well, the background statement can go, and we can just say the money perceived to be wasted on the arts can be put, and the phrase is put to better use. Or, actually, I'll change this up so this applies to the entire sentence. It is thought that the money used for the arts could be put to better use. For instance, in China, we could just say, for instance, China is facing, and then we can remove this personal pronoun. China is facing tremendous pollution problems. Here I would say developing solutions to eradicate these problems. Developing solutions has become a top priority. So here I think we should say, developing solutions to eradicate these problems has become a top priority. And funds should be channeled to these more urgent areas instead of giving more to the arts. I don't want to bring up the idea of wasting in a body paragraph because it's too strong an opinion. Here we should be, although our opinion should be visible throughout, it should be gentle. We shouldn't go too hard with our opinion. Let's say of the countries that are facing more critical problems, we can say the arts are regarded as being less relevant actually let's say a less relevant area that requires little government attention. Hence, channeling funds to these sectors in some cases can be seen as wasteful and extravagant. Good. However, I disagree. Let's start with the argument rather than the opinion. Let's save the opinion for the intro and the conclusion. So here, however, art is valuable as it can help us in solving problems that may be crucial in the future. Investing in the arts can bolster, which means to hold up or to improve or to do good by, to boost really, can bolster related fields such as the study of human relationships and economics. These enable us, or let's say, these equip people with the skills, with more relevant skills for the future. And then we could condense this again, where problems could be considerably more complicated. I would say here, to solve these problems, may require a combination of technical and soft skills. Governments should invest in the arts art-related areas in order to provide more opportunities to train its citizens. Here, by the way, I would like to see an example that supports your idea. So we need to have an example whereby a government has invested in arts and it has resulted in a problem that was solved. So can we think of a time when a creative industry solved a real humanitarian problem? Because all paragraphs really should be supported by an example that illustrates your idea, your viewpoint, that shows that your thinking is based on evidence. And the rest of this is fine. In conclusion, some critics feel that spending on the art is a waste, comma, and funds should be channeled to other areas, as there are, let's get rid of that, priorities that require more assistance. However, we should be future-minded, and through investing in arts-related areas, we prepare our people better for the future. Good. So what I was doing there really was not only minimizing your writing and making it more precise, but I was depersonalizing it. Constantly referring to we, us, is ill-advised in academic writing. It's better to keep people out of it as often as possible and to leave your opinion in the intro and conclusion and use the body paragraphs to discuss evidence-based ideas. You do write very well and you have a great vocabulary range, but precision, it should be your focus. Getting your ideas out in as few words as possible is a mark of fluency, really. So although it's a very high level, if these was to both be supported by, I mean, you've got the example of China having more important problems, which is great. But then here, where you talk about solutions, we need an example that supports your idea. But if you had an example in this paragraph, and you depersonalized it in this manner, you would score like an 8.5. So it's not that difficult, really, to score something like a 7, because you're still allowed plenty of mistakes. You just have to produce regular error-free sentences. But I'll send this over to you now. If you would like to continue receiving these sorts of corrections, you can subscribe to our course. The course actually contains 8 essay corrections in total, all done by me, over which time we guide you towards improving your writing to the band score that you would like. So I do hope to be seeing some more of your work coming through in future, but until then, have a great day, and goodbye for now.